this session, we'll do an analysis of different things we talked about in the last four sessions and then we'll wrap it up.
Let's do an analysis. We want a healthy, proud and confident, emotionally balanced, and a problem solver child at the end. Child would be proud and confident by two things: with a strong trust in Allah and belief in herself or in himself. Belief will be strengthened if I'm inspired by the prophets and ancestors. So that means reading their stories. And belief in myself will increase if I feel valued, if I'm honest and truthful, if I'm healthy and I do my faculties, use my faculties to the best. That will happen if I'm skilled and knowledgeable in my area and I have various sort of skills which I need for my life: self defense skills, IT skills, business skills, or anything which I'm doing. I'm doing art or I'm talking or all those skills. Emotional balance is about understanding my own feelings and understanding feelings of the others, managing my anger, and it's about listening. All these things actually we adult have to model for them so that they learn. At adult age and afterwards, anger, sex, and rationality. This triangle has to be managed, and that can be managed with spiritual training and with the sense of direction that we get from the stories of ancestors and our heroes. So it's a continuous process till we meet our ends. And an important part in that is communication and holding on, socializing, playing. Remember the famous marshmallow experiment by Stanford professor Walter Mischel? Children who could delay gratification were more successful later, even in their studies, in their workplaces. And if we look at our ancestors in old medieval days, Al Rubayya, she is a female companion, a Sahabiya, she used to encourage her children to fast, to do fasting, as long as they could endure thirst and hunger. They were small children, so if they could not do the entire fast, so she would ask them to, okay, can you do it till noon? Can you do it till afternoon, etc. That's exactly that you are building that strength in the children. So this is important. Thinking and problem solving. The one very important thing about that is questioning. We have to make a culture where we encourage question, the why question and what if question. Children should question everything and seeking alternatives, consulting, and they should prioritize. So, two people which in our history are around the Prophet who stand at the highest rank in knowledge are Abdullah ibn Masud and Hazrat Ali. Hazrat Ali says, I became so good in this knowledge and wisdom because of two things: lisanan sa'ula and kalban nakula. I had the tongue which knew how to ask question, and I had an heart or mind which knew how to save that. Kalban Nakula. I could memorize that. Ibn Saud, on the other hand, says, my way was that I used to remember or memorize 10 ayah at one time and then implement it. Unless I had implemented it, I would not go to the next 10. And that's very important that everything that we do, we connect it with the real life and we connect it to how it relates to us. An educational psychologist, uh, Mariam, she has summarized it very well. So I took it from her in book Educating Children, Riyadatul Sibyan. Riyadatul Sibyan is a very famous poem based on Imam Ghazali's lessons on how to educate your children. So she says these are the things children need. Children need the following from us: basic health requirement, of course; parents that respect each other and give them environment which is really loving and respectful; unconditional acceptance, they role model. Children are constantly getting positive reinforcement and structure and routines so that it brings in consistency. and proper teaching manners according to their age and their learning styles, and allowing them to make mistakes and learn. So this is very good. To further simplify it, I'm taking things from Brian Tracy. He said it very beautifully that the way you talk to your children is the single greatest factor in shaping their personality and self confidence. And on the other hand, to the contrary, negative criticism is the greatest destroyer. If we constantly feed them with the positive reinforcement, that brings self esteem. And self esteem is the foundation of self confidence. It lays down the psychological foundation for the children that they feel valued and they feel important, that brings in self confidence. Negative criticism, blaming, haunting on past mistakes, these are the things that really kill the personality quite effectively. The other two things Brian Tracy emphasizes is rules, set of rules which brings in discipline, and giving children more opportunities to take their decisions. Having said and discussed all these things, actually, we adults should do our soul searching exercise. Are we doing these things? We have to reform and change ourselves to become well behaving teachers and parents. Only then we can say our attitude is worthy of being emulated by the children. And one very important factor that often we tend to ignore is respect individuality. Do not compare the children one with another. Oh, Sadia did this, and why you are not doing this? Intelligence is a very broad concept. It's a multidimensional concept. It's just not about mental maths and it's about just the fluid language or it's about the memory. No, every child is hero in his or her own way. We have to just find out the element of the child and then polish it. No two children are identical, and we should stop comparing. And many nations have done this who are really doing well in education. It's a very beautiful quote by Pablo Picasso. Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist when we grow up. School systems that we have inherited from colonists and we are slavishly continuing with, unfortunately, especially the one created for the masses. There was another created for the elites that is designed to systematically kill child creativity. It creates a defeatist mentality, job seeking mentality, and majority of its produce is who follow the crowd with hardly any love for learning, any love for reading. Our religious teachings are very clear on it. Every child is created with unique faculties and on a pure nature. It is our interactions that shape her personality, most of it. And obviously, the genes also have a say in that. We should not impose things, but determine her or his element of the child and help her strengthen her strengths and polish and deal with her problems. And that will really help her personality. Thank you very much.